And we are back with more on Leadership Matters with the People's Doctors. And for those who are just joining us, we are really taking a deep dive in terms of looking at stress and leaders. And we've been examining it from different aspects and perspectives. And so, really, hopefully, this dialogue discussion has been really rich for our listeners. Again, I always love to hear your feedback. So, share with us what you think about this particular topic. Perhaps you've got questions you might want to also put on the air for us to talk about and discuss as well as part of that process. But I want to get to our second question. And I know we had a couple of our listeners saying, what's the exact place I can send my questions to? Because I do have questions, and I thought you guys said it's leadershipinnovisions.org. What is that all about? So here it is. It's Leadership Matters questions at innovisions.org. So it's spelled out right there for you. That's where you send your questions, comments, reflections. If you like Dr. Loretta, if you like Dr. Cheryl or not, send us your opinion. Let us know what you think. If it's good, send it to me. If it's not so good, send it to my my colleagues on the screen. So that's where you want to send it to. Leadership Matters questions at innovisions.org. We read every comment. We read every question that comes across the screen for us, so please feel free to do that as well. Upcoming topics you want to hear about, please give us some suggestions as well as part of that process. But let's get to our second audience question, which I thought was very good. And the second audience question is, I think, from a middle manager in the healthcare for-profit realm. And they ask, I can see the signs of burnout in myself, but I'm afraid that if I say something to my boss or my board, I'll look weak. We just talked a little bit about that. Or even worse, they'll start questioning whether I can handle the job. So, how do I ask for help without damaging my credibility? So, it's a very powerful question, a very reality for a lot of leaders as well. So, again, they see the signs of burnout in themselves, they recognize it, but they're afraid that if they say something to their boss or to their board, they'll look weak. And then perhaps those board members or leaders might start asking them whether that person can handle the job or not. So, how do I ask for help without damaging my credibility? So, Dr. Cheryl, Dr. Loretta, what do you think?
I think it's important for us to first recognize, and to the person who sent this question, I think it's wonderful that you have the self-awareness to know, like, I feel like I might be approaching burnout. That awareness in and of itself says that it's likely that you have good self-awareness, which then supports you with some ability to think about how you might regulate and manage the situation differently. So it shows some leadership maturity. So kudos to you for just having it on the radar and then having that mature conversation. It's not that we're going to say nothing is likely not going to be the answer to helping the situation. And being dramatic and saying I'm overloaded is probably not going to help.
Yeah.
However, if you can accept and say, hey, the pace at which we're working currently is not sustainable, it says that you can look beyond what is and see the trend of how things are going. So this isn't sustainable, maybe the conversation. And again, going back to prioritizing. So right now, given our resources that we have, if we have more resources, we probably could do more of these things. But if we don't have additional resources coming, we probably want to step back and begin to prioritize. So I think really being able to, one, not view it as a weakness, but actually view it as leadership maturity, to be able to recognize when you or others might be approaching burnout, to step back soon enough to call it out and say, hey, we're working at a pace that's not sustainable. And let's begin to talk about priorities or getting additional resources if all of these priorities have to stay and nothing can be adjusted.
Right. Like that. Excellent. Dr. Loretta.
I absolutely agree with everything Dr. Cheryl said, because sometimes people who are at that high performing level, they feel like, oh, I can't let anybody know that I'm feeling this way. But I think, good leaders, they're going to respect you for even bringing that to their attention, and that self-awareness part, because if you keep pushing it, you might fall out at work. Something could happen drastically.
Hmm.
So having that conversation, like Dr. Cheryl said, and there's just a way to do that because it's not sustainable so looking for some solutions or options that could help you.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And I agree with both of you ladies. I think that's so important. And again, kudos to you recognizing the signs of burnout. And again, I think for me, perhaps one way to think about it is if you have to have that discussion, don't lead with your exhaustion. Lead with the work instead of saying I'm burnt out. Perhaps you say, well, here's what's on my plate, and here's the risk we're at if I don't adjust at this point in time. And here's what I'm proposing. So you can start out from that perspective. It's something like the paraverbal, not what you say is how you say what you say. It's how you say what you say. So sometimes changing that language around as well makes a big difference as part of the process. And let me just be very blunt and open and honest. If you are working in an organization that truly punishes a capable leader for telling the truth about their capacity, that tells you something about the culture in the organization. And you've got some decisions to make too as well. Ain't giving no advice. I know Dr. Dre, but something to think about. All right. Great question. So keep sending those questions in. Hopefully that helped that audience member as well.